Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to DCS World 2.9.12 and Eagle Dynamics F-5E Tiger 2 Remastered module. Today we're going to take a quick look at this newly remastered version of the F5. I'm perhaps a little bit late to the party, but I've always enjoyed this aircraft, and it was one of the first jets that we formed a squadron for in the VAF, in the Virtual Air Force. So, many years ago, I did spend quite a lot of time in this aircraft, and I am rather fond of it. It's a very nice, simple, multi-role, or some swing role perhaps really, aircraft. And yeah, a lot of fun. And of course, the main items that we have here are a remastered exterior, a remastered cockpit, and a pilot body, although we have gotten some additional liveries and loadouts, along with some bug fixes. Now note, the bug fixes, of course, are also applied to the non-remastered version of the aircraft. But I think this new model is looking really good. Like, we've got a lot of detail, areas here like the dispensers. We've got a lot of detail here in the wheel well area, the actual gear itself. Even things like inside the spoilers, not spoilers, air brakes in this case. A lot of really cool detail. We even have things like the boarding ladders. I don't think we had that previously. A lot of kind of covers, like things like the engine intake covers. We've got the remove before flight tags and all kinds of stuff. And yes, a very nicely modelled pilot here as well. And yeah, a lot of really nice detail here, kind of in the canopy area. Look at all that mechanism there for opening and closing the canopy as well. That's very cool. And if we jump into the cockpit, it mostly looks the same. However, we do have higher detailed textures here. Apparently they have remodeled some parts of the cockpit, and we have this very nice looking pilot body as well. Just make sure everything's articulating nicely. It certainly seems to be. Let's see. Oh, his hand doesn't move with the right throttle. That's interesting. I assume it moves if I shift the left one. Okay, apparently my left one's not moving at all. Interesting. Let's very quickly fix that before we go any further. What have I done wrong here? Oh, okay. That's interesting. I do have it correctly mapped, but for some reason it's not wanting to move just yet. Fair enough. Yeah, perhaps after engine start it will. We'll see what happens. There we go. That's that one out. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, it's only letting me do one of them at a time. Fair enough. Anyway, let's momentarily hide that pilot body there, and let's go ahead and do the startup. Another thing, I didn't notice this before. Maybe it was always there. I never noticed the tint in the front canopy, but perhaps that's always been there and I just didn't notice. So this is me relying on memory. This might not be the perfect startup, but we're going to pop on the battery. And I think when we turn on the battery... Well, actually, no, they haven't removed the external stuff yet. It's maybe when I go for engine start. So yes, we're going to pop on the battery. We're going to turn on left and right boost pumps. We have a centerline tank today, but I'm going to start with it off. I think that's correct procedure. And at this point, we're going to ask for the ground crew to attach the ground air supply.
Chief, connect ground air supply. Copy.
After a short delay, let's apply the ground air supply. It's going to start the left engine first.
Chief, apply ground air supply.
Okay. Watching RPM here. We want to wait for it to kind of finish its maximum motor, which will be something about 18%, I think. There we go. That's about as high as it's going to get. We're then going to pop the left throttle out of cutoff and into idle, and then we're going to push and hold the starter button until we get light off, which we just got. We can now release. And from that point on, the start should pretty much just happen without any further input from us. Let's see what we get. EGT will spike, but then come back down again. It should not remain within the two red marks, and it shouldn't exceed the top red mark. And that looks like a good start. Engine stabilized, it's beyond the red mark on the RPM. Okay, at that stage we repeat. We go ground crew, ground air supply, apply.
Chief, apply ground air supply. Copy. Air is now applied.
It's motoring. You can see the pressure on the hydraulic system coming up as well. We've got maximum rise, so we're going to go right throttle out of cutoff and back to idle. And then we're going to push and hold the right starter until it lights. It just lit. I've released. It's weird. I'm not getting an EGT rise on the right. That looks a lot like a bug. That is very, very strange. Okay, I might have just found a bug. Let's keep a note of that one. The right engine EGT gauge is not operating at all. Anyway, we're going to tell the ground crew to disconnect air supply.
Chief, disconnect ground air supply.
We just lost the left gauge as well. Let's bring on the generator.
Ground air supply is now disconnected.
Okay, right. I think I ran the battery down. Because, yes, both of them are now operating. We've got intake doors and other things moving into correct positions. Yeah, I think I drained the battery. That's a bit strange. Let's clear master caution. Let's close the canopy. And we don't have any more cautions and warnings. At this stage, we're going to put IFF to standby. We're going to turn on exterior lights, turn on the beacon. We're going to turn on oxygen. We're going to set the auto balance system to left low, like that. Center line pump will come on because we have a center tank. We're going to put the UHF into both, and preset 2 for this flight. TACAN to receive while it warms up. And let's uncage the standby. There. Let's reset the altimeter. So it's using the air data computer. Let's pop the gun sight into manual mode for now. So we have that reference. Radar warning receiver goes on. It doesn't do a bit test or anything like that, unfortunately. Can we even force it into a bit test? I don't think we can. Yeah, there's no bit test with this one at all. However, it does work now, which is nice. Down on the left, we're going to pop flaps into auto, and we should observe they immediately go to full. That's good. Make sure that the flap selector is in thumb wheel, which is where we want it. Radar can go to standby. Chaff and flares go to single. Pitch and yaw dampers go to on. And at that stage, we should be ready to taxi. Let's grab the local TACAN. I believe it's 21 X-ray. And put it into transmit and receive. We should, at that point, eventually get something. I think it was 21 X-ray. Let's double check that. Yeah, 21 X-ray. It's maybe just not warmed up yet. Oh, and there we go. It just came to life. 3 miles, and we should get a Morse code. We get a Morse code. Okay, let's kill the volume, because we don't need to hear too much of that. Let's also take the local frequency. We've got 360.1. We've already started up without asking for permission. So that's great. We'll just tell them that we want a taxi now.
Dodge 7, request startup. Dodge 7, clear for startup. Wind 0.
We'll take taxi to the runway.
Request taxi to runway.
Okay, and you'll note that the speed brakes, just like in the Sabre, default to out. So we're going to go ahead and retract those. Okay, that's it. Speed brakes are clean. You can see leading edge flaps and trailing edge flaps automatically deploy. And then I guess the other thing to do before taxi is to enable the taxi light. I think at that stage we're good to go. Yeah, RWR is booted up now as well. That was funny with the EGT. I guess after you start the first engine, probably the correct thing to do is to turn on that generator straight away, because I think I flattened the battery, which is surprising, but probably somewhat realistic. Anything else I want to do here? I'll pop the IFF into norm. I think that is basically it. There's not going to be anything else we're going to want to do for now. Okay, so he cleared us to runway 05. So, for where I am right now, That means I'm going to go forwards, left, right. Okay. Can I set a heading bug? Yes, I can set a heading bug. Because after takeoff, we're going to go on a little journey. I want to fly a heading of 112... No, sorry, 131. 131. So that would be out there. I'm going to set that as our heading bug. Cool. I guess, actually, if I was being really clever, I could fly a course off of the VOR, and that'd be even better. Let's do that. Where is the VOR located on this airfield? Here, off the end. Okay, that's good. So, from here, I'm actually wanting to fly to Hattie. So I should fly 131. Excellent. Let's set a course of 131 then. That will probably give me even more accurate navigation. Okay, cool. So, we're going to just tap the toe brakes, advance the throttle a little bit, and then idle, tap the brakes, they do work. Do we have nose wheel steering? I actually can't remember on this aircraft if we have nose wheel. Yes, we do! Haha! Okay, so you have to push and hold the nose wheel steering button, but we do have nose wheel steering. It's been so long since I've flown this thing. Let's see what it's like. Let's see if it still has that ridiculous roll rate, which I do remember from moons ago. I like the sound of the engine. Yeah. I think that was already improved a while back, so I don't know if that's been changed. But yeah, it's a good one. So we're going to go to the left, then we're going to go to the right. We're at Incirlik in Turkey today. Very nice. And yes, very, very simple aircraft. We have an air-to-air, a very basic air-to-air radar. We have TACAN. I think we have the ability to track VOR. We'll test that in a moment. But there's no INS, no advanced navigational systems, no HUD. There's really not very much in this aircraft at all. But, it can fight, and it can carry a fairly impressive bomb load. Although no CCIP, no CCRP. Is that smoke over there? Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder what exploded. AI doing AI things, I guess. Let's grab another outside view here. Unfortunately, just one of the standard grey US skins here, so nothing too exciting. There are a bunch of nice ones, though. Okay, I'm actually finding it really hard to control it from the outside view, so let's stop doing that. There's a couple of F-16s parked there. That's cool. Yeah, there's definitely something burning down the way, but, that happens. Okay, we'll make our way to runway 5. Or 05, sorry. We're very... Well, not very, but we're fairly light today. I'm just going to take to the runway, take the center line, and then immediately take off. Spool time is pretty good on these engines, at least at low settings. It's not like taxiing something like the F-14, where you have to give it a bit of time. Okay, here we go. Okay. Why is that? Okay. 29er83. Okay, let's set that correctly. There. 29er.83. That's set. Okay, we've got a switch somewhere. Where's the switch for the strut? Oh dear. I've forgotten where the switch is for the strut. I actually have it mapped, so I'm just going to do it from my HOTAS, but yeah, there's a switch for extending the strut. And I have absolutely lost where it is. That's ridiculous. How have I forgotten this? feel like it was in the left side of the cockpit. Am I just not seeing this? Okay, sorry. Sorry everybody watching this video. I can't show you where it is in the cockpit because I've forgotten. Let's pop the radar into operate. But is it actually behind the stick, maybe? No. Anyway, okay, fine. Pitot heat can go on. I'm going to do one last scan for that switch. But apparently I don't know where it is anymore. Yeah, I do not know where it is anymore. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm doing it on the HOTAS, so we're going to do full extend of the nose strut. Actually, I should show you that from the outside. Let's look at it go. So, this is us going all the way down again. And so, there we go. And for takeoff, we do this. Look at the beast go. That is a nose-high attitude. Looking good. Okay, and then the last thing we want to do is make sure our trim is set. I think it's, we're wanting about 5 units here, which I think is about there, if I remember correctly. This is all from memory, so you can correct me later if I'm talking complete nonsense. I'm very disappointed with myself that I can't find the strut extend switch. Those of you watching this after the fact can tell me where I've gone wrong. Anyway, we're going to advance throttles. I'm on the brakes. Nose wheel steering depressed. Looks stable. Off the brakes. And we're going to go full afterburner. No FADEC on this aircraft, so make smooth movements with the throttle. Speed's alive, coming off the nose wheel steering now and on the rudders. And I'm going to rotate now. Or at least try to. There we go. Airborne. Gears coming up. I should have actually had a bit more trim, I feel. But anyway, what I set was kind of sort of minimum. Oh.
Combined Turkish and U.S. Air Force facilities.
I'm doing the instant action. I didn't realize it actually had some voice notes. Okay, going to come out of burner now.
F-16, A-10, and KC-135.
And we're going to be in our right-hand turn.
Protected by a Patriot sandbag.
Okay. No autopilot, but the trim is actually fairly nice. Yeah, the aircraft's nice enough to fly. Let's just check the exterior. Oh, actually, we want to go taxi light off now. Let's just see what it looks like on the outside now. We're airborne. Dump a bit of pitch trim there. That's looking nice. That's looking nice. Aircraft's flying really well. Okay, we're going to come around on heading, and let's actually see if we can even intercept the radial outbound. Going to bring the throttle back even further here. There we go. We don't need full pelt. We're doing just fine. So I'm going to deviate to the right and try and bring it back on course. Oof, yeah, that roll. That roll. You have to be gentle. It's very nice to fly. Very nice. Okay. So that feels like a fairly nice kind of cruise throttle setting. Just a touch of roll trim needed for the wind that we have here. But otherwise, it's flying pretty nice. Okay, we're going to keep a gentle climb going on up here. And I'm going to try and intercept. You can see the course is still showing that we're needing to deviate to the right. Oh, that's it. It's coming in now, actually. That's it coming in now. Let's begin a turn onto heading. Yeah, so you can probably do fairly accurate cross-country flying in this as long as you have the availability of TACAN navigation. It's not, you know, it's not going to be up to the same standards as the really modern jets, but, you know, does the job. Does the job. Okay, coming in. Course is coming in now. I'm probably not going to get this perfectly centered because of this, you know, we don't have an autopilot and it doesn't have, you know, the controls are a little bit squirrely. Like, actually, watch this. Let's do a full left deflection on the stick. Oh, okay, actually, at this speed, that's not too bad. A little bit sloppy. That's actually not too bad. But even around the centre, it feels quite, quite squirrely. Okay, we're just about on course here, though. This should take us directly to Hattie. And what I want to do, actually, I want to get to altitude and see if I can actually track the VOR for Hattie. I don't know if our direction finder can actually do that, but let's find out. I'm actually going to go afterburner again. Let's see what the acceleration's like. And we'll do a bit of a climb here. We want to get over these mountains ahead anyway. Yep. Yep, performance is pretty good in afterburner. Let's go outside. Very nice, very nice. Okay, and of course you'll all want to see the guns. Let's flip the switch and pull to the first detent. And out pop the guns. You can see both the ejection ports at the bottom and those gas deflectors at the top open up. And if I pull all the way, we can send some rounds flying there. That's good fun. I'm going to level out somewhere about here, actually. We don't need to go too much higher than this. And I'll bring it back out of afterburner again. We're approaching supersonic. We don't need to go supersonic right now. Okay, that should do. Yeah, that's one thing that's missing is an autopilot. Like, of course, in cloud, like we are just now, it's very easy to lose track of what you're doing. Like, you really have to keep an eye on your vertical speed, your artificial horizon, altimeter speed. Like, you really have to look at that very carefully. Anyway, we're probably at a point now where we could try to switch over to tracking the VOR. So, the problem is we only have one radio, so it means that we effectively lose the radio. Does T give me 1? I don't even know if T gives me 1. Anyway, let's try this. 112.05. Okay, I've got a Morse code. Let's drop the volume off. And let's pop into direction finder. I've kind of lost track of what I'm up to here. Needle for direction finder is dead, so it's not giving me anything on that. But I did get a Morse code off of the VOR. Let's continue flying the course anyway, and see if we do pick it up later. Yeah, we got a red flag showing there. But yeah, it should drive this needle here, I think. Let's see. If I flip between DF and TACAN... Yeah, the needle's dead. Okay. So that's not picking up the VOR for some reason. Let's fly closer to the airfield, though. We're actually almost there. So yeah, for whatever reason that's not working. I'm assuming it just can't tune that. I set it... No, actually, that was the correct frequency, because I had Morse. Yeah, I've got Morse code off of that. Oh, do I have to put this into ADF? Ahaha! Okay. Needle's alive. There we go. Notice this pointer here. That is direct inbound Hattie. So let's fly the pointer. That does actually work. Fantastic. Okay, let's bring the throttle back to idle. Is that the airfield in sight? I think that's the airfield in sight. Ho 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 ho. Alrighty. Let's see if we make a landing at Hattie. Or at least some kind of landing. Okay, you got the speed brake out now. There's no indication in the cockpit that you've got the speed brake out, so you just need to remember that you've got it out. You do hear, of course, a bit of noise. I'm going to try to make some kind of overhead join, but honestly, I'm actually a bit high. We'll see how it goes, though. But yeah, ADF is working. We're getting a needle. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So you've got some tools here. You've got TACAN, you've got ADF, you can set a heading bug, you can set a course. This is, For a simple aircraft of its era, this is actually not bad. You see how easy it was for me there to navigate my way to Hattie. Okay, not a very long journey, but I was quite accurately able to get myself in the vicinity of the airfield. Speed's coming down, altitude's coming down. I'm going to make some kind of an overhead join and then make right-hand turns for whatever the runway is here. What is the runway here? 04. We'll make right-hand turns for 04. Let's see if I can get it on the ground safely. Speed's coming down. Okay, we can lose the speed brake. And as I often say, I'm doing this without any head tracking or VR. I normally fly in VR, so excuse my poor lineup. Yeah, the automatic flaps kicking into action there. We're at something approaching an approach speed now, so let's bring the throttles back up a little. Okay, I can probably just really bring it all the way around now. That was a rubbish downwind that I just flew. At this stage we can just go gear down. Flaps will automatically deploy to full at that stage. And then we're just flying the AOA. And perhaps a little bit low, so let's give it some more power. And a bit more trim. Yeah, I'm flying it very draggy right now. Let's keep it coming around. Okay. This could work. This could work. Weirdest approach ever to Hattie, but let's see if we can make it work. I've really just done like a kind of continuous circle. Okay, let's bring it in. Green donut. It's not a bad picture. Not a bad picture. Needs a lot of pitch trim though. I'm coming in nice and flat. Speed's about right. AOA's about right. Gun camera's obscuring the touchdown point, but that's okay. Oh, power. Power. Floated it. On the ground. Pull the chute. Speed's coming down. On the nose wheel steering. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, let's see if we can lose the chute. That wasn't terrible. That actually wasn't terrible. This is actually my first time landing this aircraft in probably about 10 years. Okay, on the toe brakes now. Let's slow it down. And we got it stopped. Fantastic. Let's stand by the radar. We don't need that anymore. And yeah, we've got it stopped. Let's see, do we have any kind of a parking brake? Oh, here, that was bad practice. I've landed with the master arm on. We don't really have any way of like engaging a parking brake, do we? Anyway, doesn't matter too much. So there you go. I actually demonstrated the ADF. It does in fact work. Used the TACAN. You've got this little switch here to switch between the direction finder and the TACAN. That's pretty cool. And yeah, apart from that, not too shabby. We made it. So, I hope you all enjoyed that. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. Fly safe, and I'll see you all next time.